get set, go. Hey, we're late tonight because we were busy watching Muppet Show videos. I got carried away and let the time get away from me, and we're 4 minutes late coming on because we were watching Muppet Show videos. How y'all doing? Hi, Jayton. We're glad to see you.
We are glad to see her. We haven't seen her in a while.
I know. We haven't seen a lot of our friends in a while because it's been a little bit hectic around here. I'm going to get our live streaming up here so we can see it on my computer.
Hi, Allison Butler.
We're very glad to see you, and we're so glad you joined us because we've got some fun things to do tonight. We have
Maya and Ashley. They're here, so keep going, and I'll say hi to people.
All right, so I'll keep going.
Yep.
The night tonight is filled with some updates about what's going on with my mom, some updates about our plans for the future, our garden. We've got family coming in.
Thank you. It is very humid here, so I had to do something with my hair because it gets weird and frizzy. So that's why it's all curly, because I had to tame the frizz a little bit.
Mine retreats to my back, apparently, but that's a permanent thing. So we did bring someone with us tonight that we wanted to say show you.
Aaron, Coconut, Noel, and James.
Yep, we got somebody right here. He's very excited to make his appearance, as you can see. There he is.
He's fighting you.
Yeah, he's not happy.
Aww.
This is our little man, Gilbert. Gilbert is a little camera shy. He's one of the rabbits that we're going to keep. He's one of our favorites. He loves, he is actually pretty easy to hold. He doesn't get real excited, but he might run away.
He's a little scared right now. But
he just came out of the cage, so.
Yeah, he's pretty people friendly. Katie calls him Mr. Pants because it looks like he's wearing fuzzy pants.
Yeah, he's a good looking rabbit. I mean, he was one that we feel like we kind of saved from from the scary people.
The people that we bought him from, he was actually, you could feel all of his ribs and everything. He was really, really skinny.
Yeah, he's a good fella. He just doesn't know why he's here. So he's probably a little confused.
What's going on?
We were going to entertain him with some kale, but it hasn't arrived yet.
Green.
So
here's
some kale now from our.
What's
look. We'll tempt you with our kale.
I can't even see.
Can't even see. That's all right. Here, we'll leave it here and see what he wants to investigate and see why we're doing this, and then maybe pee on me.
He actually is, of all of our rabbits, he's really sweet. Him and the one that Katie named Claire. She's a really sweet one too. Very docile. He's not scratchy or anything like that. He's pretty good. I like him a lot. And
I'll tell you, this is going to be a part of our garden update because this stuff has taken off, and we'll give you more about that in just a second. So anyway, as everybody gathered, we wanted to say hi and we wanted to show off this awesome guy right here.
Noel.
But we're not going to freak him out anymore. We're going to put him back in, and we just wanted to show off Gilbert a little bit.
Beautiful you are. Be very careful. Don't text and drive at the same time.
Listening and driving is fine.
Listening and driving is fine. Don't text.
Yeah, that's funny.
We want you to get to where you're going in one piece.
Yes. Well, we're glad to see everybody. Hi,
Paige.
We're excited to share our day with you, our week with you. So let me start by giving you a update on my mom. I appreciate you guys so much. The entire community, Facebook and homesteading community, has been shouting out prayers to us for my mom.
Us, not to us.
To us for my mom is what I meant to say. And here's her status. She had a surgery today where they went in and they repaired a vein that she popped. She had a varicose vein that popped, and it created a lot of complications. And so she's going to be sleeping for a long time, which is why I'm here, because she's asleep and under great care. And our situation radically improved after we got out of the emergency room. The whole story is a little bit involved, so let me put this rabbit away.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you about it. It was quite the experience.
He was pretty hot by the time he got to come home. He was pretty mad about it. But.
Now, let me say this too. It's going to sound like I'm ripping on healthcare workers, and I'm not. The healthcare workers that we experienced, except for one, were professional, and they were great. We just had a snafu where the system kind of failed us, and it was a problem. Katie, could you give me some hand sanitizer? I have some over on my nightstand. But anyway, what happened was my mom's white blood cell count went down too low, and she had to be given a blood transfusion. They had planned for that blood transfusion to be an outpatient procedure that would last about 14 hours, and then she'd go back into the rehab facility that she was ultimately in for her knee surgery recovery, if that makes any sense. What happened is on their way to the emergency room, something happened, and they determined that mom needed to go to the emergency room versus to just this outpatient procedure. And the basic gist of it is she got there at 3:30 p.m. Was kind of diagnosed by the doctor, and the doctor determined that she had a pseudoaneurysm. And I won't go into all the boring details of that, but it's basically an aneurysm inside of her knee where the blood veins just popped and kind of collected blood and just started creating some real problems. But what happened was my mom waited in the emergency room from 3:30 p.m. till 3:30 a.m. before she got a room, and they didn't give her meds. They didn't give her high blood pressure medicine. They didn't give her anything for her pain until well after 8 o'clock. And so it became, thank you very much. It became a real issue because she really started hurting, and her blood pressure started to skyrocket. And so we just started noticing some stuff that we were not excited about. There was a male nurse who seemed a little bit ready. She seemed more interested in getting off the clock than helping my mom. And they initially had a porta potty that sits beside the bed that she could stand up and sit down on, so she's more comfortable to go to the bathroom. Well, they gave her privacy to do that, but they never emptied that little porta toilet that's on that stand. And so every time this nurse walked by this thing, he knocked it over, or he bumped into it, and it spilled pee all over the floor. And it was really gross. So my brother, who's a very honest guy, looks at him and goes, "Listen, buddy, you keep spilling pee all over the floor." So the guy proceeds to take a absorbent pad, lay it down on the ground, wipe it up with his hands, and then throw it away. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Then, yeah, he doesn't wear gloves or anything. Then he takes 2 Clorox wipes, the equivalency of Clorox wipes, lays them on that spot, and wipes it up using his shoes on the Clorox wipes. He doesn't get the entire spot where the pee spilled. He just gets the part that he felt like getting, picks them up with his hands, no gloves, throws them in the trash can, and then doesn't go and wash his hands. He uses sanitizer solution, like this, to clean his hands.
And then moves on to the next patient.
Now, folks, I'm not ripping on healthcare workers. I'm ripping on that healthcare worker. He dropped the ball, and it was gross. So, here's what happened. The shift changed over, and this new girl came on, and it was phenomenal. She did a great job. She hustled. She cleaned up all the problems in the room. She fixed it immediately, and all of a sudden the care started to improve, but she wasn't allowed to give mom any of her blood pressure medicine. So hear me. The folks that were in charge still were not. There's a hitch in the giddy up somewhere. So the folks in charge kept my mom from having any pain medication and any blood pressure medicine until 3:30 in the morning when she went upstairs. And basically when she, while they were caring for us, they were being professional and they were being kind, but they were also being honest, saying we're just not allowed to, we just can't, there's a specific room that the doctor that she's going to be treated by uses, and she has to be in that room on that floor. And it was just kind of ridiculous. So it made us wait for this very long period of time. Well, the next morning the doctor comes and he goes, "You actually don't need me." He was a heart vascular surgeon. The doctor that we needed was his partner, who is a vein specialist in the limbs of the body. So, we're pretty hot by this time. I mean, this is in the morning around 9:30 that this guy's telling, 8:30 that this guy's telling us that. And I say to the new nurse, the nurse that's, in charge, we get up to the second floor by 3:30. It's 4 or 5, something like that, when we get settled in. And we tell our story to the nurse up there. She's appalled, and she gets a phone call out to a patient advocate for the hospital, and that patient advocate comes and meets with us the next day around noon. And I tell her this entire fiasco, and believe me, I'm probably leaving some stuff out. It was just insane, the amount of time. I mean, you can't blame the second nurse, because she had someone crash right beside us. Like, they went down, their heart stopped. She had to be in there. She was rushing around trying to get that person to be alive again. I'm not blaming her for anything. But I would say that that there was a serious lack of communication between the folks upstairs getting the beds ready and the doctor and the nurses that were down in the ER, and it just kept a major gap from happening. And so that's kind of what happened. I feel like we were heard by the patient advocate, and the look on her face as I explained our story to her was a lot of this. And so I feel like she understood what where we were coming from, and was appalled by some of the stuff that we mentioned. So anyway, those are some. That's kind of the experience that we had. Mom got the medication she needed. She was put on a couple of different medicines that obviously I can't pronounce, a muscle relaxer as well, that just kind of helped everything tense up. But in the meantime, while this is happening, this vein is leaking blood into her leg. Now, my mother is 75 years old. And
76.
That's what I said, 76 years old. And she does not, she looked like she was beat up. She looks like she was in a fist fight. From her, where they tried to poke her in her veins, to the aspirin they tried to give her in her stomach, to the flush look in her face. Her leg was bruised all the way down. What's that?
She looks like a domestic abuse victim. The way that she's bruised kind of all over, and it just, she looked terrible.
Yeah,
I felt so bad for her.
I will tell you that this is a learning experience for all of us, so that we can really make sure that we're being advocates for the people that are in these rooms. I really think it's important for us, when we're faced with these situations, to make sure that we have a presence in those situations, because had we not said anything, Mom would have sat there and sat there and sat there and sat there and sat there, and nobody would have come to her aid. So being beside aging parents is a new thing for us, and we're experiencing some of that with Heather's grandmother, and I've experienced a lot of that with my grandparents when they passed away. And so being on the other side of it with my mom is a new experience, because it's actually you that's dealing with it. And my brother has been a superhero through this entire thing. I'll tell you that right now. He's done an incredible job keeping everything straight, making sure that you know, we keep our emotions in check, but we get our mom taken care of. I'm pretty proud of him. And my sister is keeping tabs on us from Tennessee and holding ground pretty good. So, you know, when something like this happens, really my job was to call all the family and tell them what's going on, to give them updates. There were other family members that were there. It's just, you know, it becomes almost too much. And so they can run interference while you are doing that. We have a question on the live stream, Heather, about what you're making.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm making it's a wrap. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it's like a triangular wrap. It'll have like, it can be worn kind of at the side where it kind of covers your side, and then have kind of a button up here, but that's what I'm making. Yeah.
Very cool. So anyway, Mom had surgery today. It went well. She's sleeping and recovering. I haven't really gotten any other updates than that. The best advice that I was given was stay away so she can sleep.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're doing. She doesn't need a bunch of people hovering over her going, "You okay? You okay?"
Well, the day that we were there, because I went over, Kevin had been there all night, and then he actually was there for like 24 hours. And I came and I brought him, like, you know, his medicine and, you know, a
Some
big
of the
cup
stuff
of
I
coffee
need. Yeah.
and stuff like. And I sat with him for a while, and you know, at times like that, it's like, this is not the time for, like, you know, the odd visitor. You know, we don't need, you know, distant relatives coming in to see. She just needs to rest. And, you know, I'm not that much of a talker, so she didn't feel like she had to keep me entertained. I just sat there with her while Kevin would talk with the nurses and stuff like that, just so that she wasn't alone, so that, you know, in case something did happen, there was somebody in the room with her.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, that's kind of that's all I got.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's probably more I could tell you, but let me say this: when we went upstairs and the nurses took over there, we were met with great professionalism. We were met with great care. They bent over backwards for my mom and actually for me. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just it wasn't just care for my mom, but after they took care of my mom, they looked at me and said, "Okay, what do you need?" And I'm just there for her. I don't really need anything, and they got me a cup of coffee. They let me kind of have my say. It was a much different experience, so I was very excited about that. But anyway, what else is going on? We have family coming in from Texas.
My Texas family is
Texas
coming
family,
in.
and
Yes.
I don't see someone on the live stream.
Yeah, I don't see
Lone Star.
Lone Star. He's either
probably
not
at
here
church.
yet, or well, no, he's on a road trip.
Oh, he is on a road trip to Atlanta, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I have family from the Dallas area, and their son is marrying a sweet young lady who is actually, her family is from about a half hour, 20 minutes away from where we are right now.
Shaitan's from Texas.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I remember that, because she was asking me about homeschooling laws in Texas.
There you go.
But so they're coming up. The wedding's going to be here. They're going to have a wedding here and a reception, and then they're going to have a big old Texas style reception.
You know what I want to sing right
Texas.
now?
What?
It's the wedding song from the Aladdin thing.
No.
Oh, sorry.
But anyway, so I get to see some of my family that I haven't seen in a very, very long time, which is really great, because when I was younger, we went to church with them, and my Uncle Mac was actually the one that led my dad to the Lord. And so we spent a lot of weekends at their house and just, you know, being with them. And so they're just really great people. And so it's going to be really nice to see everyone.
Yeah.
You know, we don't get to see them that often, because, you know, it's kind of hard when you have, like, we have 4 kids, and most of the girls down there have 6 kids. So kind of that traveling is kind of hard sometimes. So it's usually a big event when we see someone, like a wedding or something like that. So I'm really excited to see them. And so they're going to be coming in tomorrow and coming here, and we're going to have dinner together and stuff like that. So that'll be a lot of fun.
There's a comment on the live feed. Coco Noel, that's exactly what I did. I used my notes in my phone, and I just would put things that I remembered in the notes from our hospital visit. I even remembered people's names, and I remembered certain situations. And so that really helped me when I was going and talking to the patient advocate, having that note journal of everything that kind of went down with my mom was very helpful. So that's a great advice. Thanks for bringing that up. I appreciate it. It's good advice for anybody facing that situation. But like I said, this is life, and we're learning as we go.
Yep.
You know?
So but that's what I have for family and stuff. And
yeah, that's good. That's good stuff.
Yep.
The Hoffman Family Homestead got their package from the Goin Batty store.
Oh, yay!
Hope you guys enjoy it. If you're interested in checking out our store, we have incredible things like this.
Well, it's not done yet.
It's not done yet. But please check out our store. It's one of the ways that we support our family, and it's got some great stuff in there.
And if you can't find things like soap and candles at our store, because I don't do soap or candles, you can go to the Hoffman Family Homestead store, and she has them.
Yes, they do.
And they look at, she was a strawberry and a blueberry one. I'm like, yes, that I'm going to have to get some of those.
Absolutely. So by all means, check out Goin, Goin Batty, Batty store.com, and see what we have to offer up there. Those should be some good stuff.
Well, I'll be putting some more stuff up there soon as I get it done.
It has just been a little wacky lately.
It's been a little crazy.
It's been hard
to get stuff kind of. Well, we were on vacation, but our vacation kind of.
Well, we were on the mission trip.
Yeah, they were on the mission trip, and then Kevin had his vacation last week,
and I slept through half of it.
Well, then,
to be honest with you,
like we went to Kings Island, that was a lot of fun with our kids.
Kings Island was fun.
Yes. And except I found out that I cannot ride roller coasters anymore, which makes me super sad because I used to love riding everything. And
you started out bad though because she went on the delirium thing. It's that arm spinny thing. It spins you and then it swings back and forth.
Yeah. And
she started the time with that. That was crazy.
My thing is that I have never been one that really has liked. Like, I've loved roller coasters, but, like, those swings that, like, spin around, don't care for those. Like, I can feel myself getting sick on those, and I just don't, and my thing is, too, is that if that chain snaps, I have time to think, oh, well, I didn't kiss my husband before I got on this ride, splat. So,
well, we kiss a lot, so it's okay.
But, you know,
all the kids just left the room, just with that statement. No, I'm just kidding.
But I do like the roller coasters and stuff, and, so I rode a couple more roller coasters just because our son Jack, he rode the drop zone, which pulls you up like 260 feet and then drops
Scary.
you. And he got off. He had like no color in his face, no color in his lips.
His legs were visibly shaking.
And he's like, "Mom, I don't know if I'm going to do any more." And he was like,
yeah,
I said, "Well, if I ride one with
job.
you, will you ride?" And he goes, "Yeah." So I had to go on a couple with him, and then he got his groove back and he was riding.
I'll tell you what. All of our kids did an amazing job. All of them rode rides that they felt they wanted to conquer, and our youngest son and our daughter almost rode every major ride in the park with the exception of maybe two, like the one that Jack went on. But Miles rode that one too, and he nailed it, man. He was all over that.
The only one they didn't ride was the Vortex because none of my kids seemed to like that one.
Yeah, it beats you up a little bit.
Yeah.
I did not ride rides. I'm 46 years old. Hi, I'm Kevin, and I have nothing to prove. I'm having trouble with my knee right now, folks, and it's just not a good thing for me to go on a water ride or a roller coaster. I may be the next in line for knee surgery. We don't know. I have a doctor's appointment Friday. My knee has been beat up a lot through wrestling and doing things that a grown man probably shouldn't be doing.
Well, that was the one that you injured in the car accident when you were a teenager too, wasn't it?
Well, no, it was the other one, but still.
Well, never mind.
This one I had an ACL reconstruction on, and it didn't take, and so
you've had it twice.
Yeah, it kept me from really doing anything. It kept me from being able to do anything. I'm not a huge roller coaster guy, so it's not anything I really miss. But I'll tell you what. You know what the fun part was for me? The fun part for me was watching the look on my children's face when they came off these rides. Heather was kind of funny to watch too because it was just that moment of realization. I can't do this anymore.
Well, and I also had biscuits and gravy and eggs right before we went. Not good. Always eat something starchy before.
Yeah. And she saw it in reverse too.
Yeah, it was not pretty. It was not.
But
it's not nearly as good coming up as it was going down.
But I think watching our kids go through those rides and having a good time is awesome. Trucking it up's here as well.
Yep. I'm sorry we've missed some people but we are glad that you are all here.
Yeah. We've noticed that if we start yelling out people's name and saying hi, welcome, it really kind of interrupts the flow of the show. So we're gonna let the live stream continue to go. But if you do have a question or statement you'd like us to read, please put it in all caps so we can see it, because my eyes are getting older. And we are glad to see all of you. We're very glad you're here. But yeah, that's that was a great experience. The Kings Island Fun was awesome, and having Heather's family in from Texas is going to be fun.
Yeah.
These are folks that love to hunt and love to talk about Jesus,
and they know how to hug.
Oh man,
they know how to hug. I mean, my cousin Rhonda, she's like 4 foot nothing. She's like 4'9" maybe.
Yeah.
And like when she hugs you, you have been sufficiently hugged, and you know it.
Yes.
So she is just the world's best hugger.
Yeah.
And I love it. So, did we have? Wait, what's going on?
I'm sorry, I'm reading. I thought you were talking.
No, I'm done talking now.
Okay, so Donna Terry, Kevin, and I did give a donation in honor of Goin Batty. Did you say it was a needy area? I did throw that challenge out there.
Oh, for Henderson.
Oh yeah. That is good. I did not see anything come across, and they haven't told me anything yet. From Henderson about anything they've received, but again, they're going to be there a while, and if you guys want to, it's a great place. It's a great way to support. It's a great ministry to support. It really is,
because it helps a lot of needy and hurting people.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. So the Goin Batty Kitchen had another successful evening tonight. Heather makes her version of jambalaya.
I think I've done a video on it.
It's Goin Batty-laya.
That just doesn't flow.
It doesn't work, does it?
Flow.
It's our version of jambalaya, although anybody from the South would probably be like, that's not jambalaya at all.
That's not.
But we are, she made a video on it. We ate it tonight. It was phenomenal. It had a different twist on it, and I just think it's fun. I just think it's wonderful. I thought it tasted great. But what is coming up with the Goin Batty Kitchen?
Well, we were okay. So I gotta give a little bit of a backstory about this one.
The back of this cage.
So the way that I get my kids, especially my daughter, interested in history, is that I attach food to it. So we were watching. Was it John Townsend and Son? It's just now he's changed his YouTube thing to Townsend, and he does historical food and reenactment stuff, and it all deals with kind of like that period of like the late 1700s, early 1800s, and so we were watching some of the recipes that he did, and one of the ones that came up was donuts. And donuts before they put the hole in it, and so my mom was like, well, I have a donut recipe that is from Mrs. Kiley. Now, Mrs. Kiley, it was my grandmother's best friend. When they moved from Indiana to Ohio, she lived across the street, right across the street from them in the house that they lived in. And hey, girls, how are you? Hi, Leah and Michelle. Anyway, so Mrs. Kiley gave my grandmother her recipe. And so I am going to be making Mrs. Kiley's donuts one day this week. So there's not been a lot going on in the Goin Batty Kitchen just because our schedule has been so weird with Kevin's mom and stuff like that. So but yeah, I'm going to be doing a video on donuts.
Yeah, well, I will say this. Something cool happened the other day. Heather's mom made some of the bread that we kind of live by around here.
Yeah.
And it was great. I mean, I had a piece of it this morning. It was, I'll say it. I'm going to say it.
It was phenomenal.
It was phenomenal. I'll just say it there. I said it. I got it out of the way. It was phenomenal.
It's funny because now she this morning was kind of doing what I do, which is, wait, what? I cooked yesterday or the day before. I cooked 5 loaves of bread and there's 1 left.
They think that we're not going to eat homemade bread quickly.
It makes fantastic grilled ham and cheese sandwiches.
Awesome
it
toast.
Really does, yes.
Yeah.
So, but so we So I'm going to be making donuts here within the next few days. It just kind of depends because, like I said, we got family coming in and the wedding and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to get it done this week, though.
Thanks, Jayton. We would like you guys to check out the Goin Batty Kitchen playlist on our channel. It has all of our cooking videos, and it has Heather and I. It has Heather cooking. It has me watching
and tasting.
And tasting.
He's my official taste tester.
But it really is a lot of fun, and we would encourage you guys to check that out. It's a gift to have a beautiful wife and a wonderful cook as well. I would say this: Heather and I had an agreement a long time ago when we first got married that we would not buy a Fry Daddy or anything like that.
No, but we will borrow one.
We would also agree not to have one of those pumps that you can put liquid cheese in.
No.
Because that's not good for the Kevin.
No.
And so us doing donuts is a little disconcerting as long as it doesn't become regular routine. Well, I can hear myself getting fatter.
Katie goes, well, if you can do these, Mom, like her favorite are the sour cream donuts. Like the old, they're more like when I think of them, I think old fashioned. Like the old fashioned donuts are kind of the cake donut, and they're just, and I love them too. I think they're really good. So she wants to see if I can, if I can make these donuts, maybe I can make a sour cream donut. But I told him, like, I'm gonna have to buy something extra just to poke the hole in the middle.
Hey, now like, explain that. What is an air fryer? I've never heard of an air fryer. Do you know what an air fryer is?
I've never heard of an air fryer.
I would love to eat one of those donuts too.
I've heard of like an air popcorn popper, but not an air fryer.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Homemade donuts are health food. Yes, they are.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, anyway. Here's a little bit of a garden update. I have a question for all the awesome gardeners out there, and maybe my beautiful wife already knows this answer. I love old-fashioned cake or sour cream donuts too. Those are the bomb.
Especially, I like them when they're like the dunking sticks that are about this big. Like, well, Leah and Michelle would know this. Holtman's Donuts. They're dunking sticks. Oh my gosh, those are like the best donuts in the whole wide world. They are awesome.
All right, so check this out too. Our Dayton friends, the folks that live in Dayton, Bill's Donuts. Best old-fashioned donuts in the area. Homemade donuts. It's incredible.
I don't know.
Air fryers are like a mini convection oven. Use ours every day.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds
I know what a
cool.
convection oven is. We had a convection oven. Well, we had one that turned into a convection oven when you wouldn't.
Baker Mom says, obviously you don't watch late night infomercials.
This is true. No, we're in bed usually by like 9 o'clock.
I hate to admit it.
People now.
Yeah, so. We're getting there. Anyway, so here's the question for the garden. Okay, what plant, what vegetable could we plant in the middle of the summer heat in July? What is some plants that we might be able to plant? It may be nothing, but as I look at our garden and I think about some of the open spaces that we have, my head immediately goes to, what could we plant there? What could we plant there? What could we plant there?
Because like right now our lettuce is done, and like I think I could probably plant some more beans because I do have those, but you know, we're looking at some things that aren't doing well, and it's like, well, should we pull them out? What should we do? Should we just let them go? And then here's the thing: is like I was talking to my brother today. He went out and looked at the garden and everything, and he's having the same problems with the same plants. So it's not just us. Like he's saying, he goes, my potatoes aren't doing anything really. They'll get really short, and then they'll turn black and they're dying off. And we're having the same problem. And he's talking about that some of his plants are stunted and they're not growing very big. Now his pumpkin plant, our pumpkin plant are like going gangbusters, and they are just huge. So
here's some of the suggestions from the live feed.
Bacon seeds.
I didn't see that. Squash, okra, green beans, pumpkin, corn.
Something is eating our okra.
Good.
It ate 2 of our plants. That makes
as long as it doesn't have to be me.
Well, you'll like it when I make it for you. You didn't like fried green tomatoes.
Make it in the donuts, and I'll eat them.
Well, you didn't like fried green tomatoes till I made them for you, or fried zucchini.
Let's see. Any beans to dry? Come and get some seeds from me if you want. Kidney, beanto.
Pinto,
excuse me, etc. Do we have a sourdough bread recipe?
I do not have a sourdough bread recipe. That's something that I've actually never tried because I don't know, I'm just kind of afraid to do that starter, because usually like you get a starter from somewhere else, from somebody else, and I've never started one myself. And who was it that I saw doing a starter for? I think it was Homesteading the Pioneer Way. She did, where she showed how she made a starter, because it's like I always just assumed that this starter was some magical thing from like 100 years ago and it just kept getting passed to everybody. And so, but she showed how to do that, and I thought, because I didn't know how to start that starter that you give to somebody else. It's kind of like Amish friendship bread kind of thing too. Yeah. So, but I've never done sourdough, but I think I could research it and probably try.
Yep.
See if I could find something.
Well, and in the meantime, there is some phenomenal bread that Big Family Homestead put together, a recipe that Krista shows you. It's fun. I'm going to say it again. Phenomenal.
It's like
a Christian drinking game.
We don't drink,
no alcohol,
but it's with tea. So every time he says phenomenal, we take a
or
sip.
Check this out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to find new things to say.
But yeah, so we're looking at. So I'm thinking about planting some more beans, because we can never have too many green beans. We go through a lot of them. So and we're having a few tomatoes come in. I'm starting to have a few little cucumbers. I had some of my picklers that I picked, and I had one get too big because it kind of worked its way down into the straw, and I didn't see it, and I'm like, well, and then I pull it out and it's like this long, which is way too long for a pickler. So
yeah.
But yeah, so that's just what our dark garden's doing right now.
Shaitan has a sourdough starter: 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of sugar, a cup of milk, and buttermilk, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Boom, there you go.
Could you email that to me? Would you mind? And
or Facebook it.
Yeah, and if you don't want me to do like a recipe on it, like a video, I won't. But I would just like to try. Yeah. So because I've never done it before. And
someone's asking what you're crocheting again.
Oh, what I'm crocheting? It's a wrap. Here, let me pull my hook out. But it's like a triangular wrap that will go, like, you'll have like part of it hanging here, and then it'll button over here. Have put like a big like wooden button on it, so that's what I'm crocheting right now.
Absolutely. We have a chicken update. By the way, if you guys think, before we move on to that, if you guys think of any other plants that would be good for us to plant here in the hot weather, let us know, because I'd really like to see us just have a ton of things. Yeah. Now, we're going to have more squash than we can handle right now, the way we're going. Yeah. So I'd like to see anything but that, because we don't eat that much squash. But things like green beans, and those are great suggestions. Keep them coming. We're going to move on to the chicken update, and lo and behold, our chickens have come back. We got 11 eggs today, and it was awesome.
Because 2 weeks ago we got 1 every 3 days.
Oh my gosh!
So
it was like they were on strike.
Slackers. So.
They had little picket signs outside their coop going, "No more eggs! Scramble our eggs!" Anyway, it just wanted you guys to think, get excited about that. I don't know what I was just about to say.
That's all right.
I get tongue-tied sometimes.
But we're getting close to our newer chickens to where they're going to start laying.
Yes.
So so soon we should be having some different colored eggs, because we have 2 leghorns, which means we'll have some white eggs, and then we have 2 Easter eggers, which is, you never know what color you're going to get. They could be lighter brown, they could be green. I've seen them pink sometimes. If you're really special, you get a blue one. But so we're going to see, because I always wanted, like, an Easter basket of eggs that I didn't have to dye, because I hate dyeing Easter eggs.
Yeah, and by the way, zucchini bread is awesome.
Yes.
I just want that out there. That's a great way for us to use our zucchini, and it is a great treat for our chickens. They love it. We make the little zucchini on a string kind of thing where we put a hole in the zucchini,
I thought
hang
you
it,
meant for us. I'm like, I've never.
and then
made
the
zucchini
chickens
on a
peck
string.
the zucchini off the string. It's hilarious to watch.
It's like chicken tetherball.
It's exactly like chicken tetherball.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. And so anyway, we are going to be downsizing our chickens soon.
Yep. We can't take them with us to where we're going.
Yep.
So we have to downsize our flock, which makes me sad because we got some really cool birds out there.
We do.
Hopefully we can find.
We've got some cool birds, but I wanted to, if we have any local folks that are near us that would like to purchase our birds, we're going to try selling them first, but we might end up just having to give them away.
Yeah.
We want to make sure they get in a good home.
I mean, they've been well taken care of. They're healthy. They don't have problems with mites or lice or anything like that. So I mean, I think it's only fair that we try to sell them because they've been well taken care of.
Cat lover, we are going to be moving. We're going to become urban homesteaders for a while. We have a home that we own in Dayton, and it is a rental right now, but it's going to be coming available, and we're going to be moving our family into that here in a few months. So stay tuned because we'll be taking you on that journey as well. And it really is us testing the things that we've said in our philosophy behind homesteading, because we really do believe in self-reliance, and we're going to be putting a lot of things into practice that we couldn't necessarily put into practice here. So things that are more self-sufficiency, and it's going to keep us from being able to have certain animals. I think we'll still be doing rabbits. I will give you an update on the Maryland house in just a second, but
no, we're not going to Wisconsin with Brandon.
No.
That's just that's just really far for us. My family is here, and Kevin's mother is here, and it's important for us to be where our family is because, like he said, his mom is not getting any younger. My grandmother is not getting any younger. And even my grandmother said, because where we're living is going to be about 35 to 40 minutes from where we are now. And she looked at me the other day, because she's 88, and she said, she goes, what am I going to do when you leave? I'm going to need help mowing my yard. And I said, Grandma, we'll come down here once a week and make sure that your yard gets mowed. Don't worry about it. So, she needs us right now, and there's not really it's not fair for my mom to have to do it, and and we'll come and cut her yard too, because she doesn't need to be cutting her own yard when I have 4 perfectly strong healthy children and myself that can do it for her.
Well, and I will say this, the idea of urban homesteading is weird. I mean, we don't know what we're going to face, but obviously we're going to be limited on some things we can do, and we're going to be able to try some stuff that we can't try here. There's certain things that I can do to my own home that I wouldn't do to my, Heather's mom's house. And so we're going to be trying different things like utilizing solar energy and who knows what else. And we're going to be very
intentional about what we do, because it's a smaller space. Here it's nearly 2 acres, and where we're going is going to be 1/4 of an acre. But we can still plant stuff here. My mom is all about that. And then I'll plant stuff there too. So we'll still have, and so now we're looking at more like raised beds, and because the backyard is kind of shady, not shady as in bad, but it's got a lot of shade.
It has a lot of shade. But it's not far from a shady neighborhood.
Well, it's not a bad neighborhood. There's a lot of older people that live in that neighborhood.
There's a lot of starter homes where we are.
But so I'm going to have to be very intentional about where certain plants are, because the one side along the chain link fence gets most of the sun, and then over by the privacy fence that doesn't get a lot of sun. So I'm going to have to be a little more versed in what grows where. and I might be picking some people's brains when it comes
Absolutely.
to that.
Absolutely.
Because I am new at this. You know, I this is only the second year that we've really had a large garden, and I'm still new at it. So I'm always wanting to learn. I mean, always wanting to learn. So you know, I'll just keep asking questions.
Yeah, I think having a homesteading mindset is going to be tested really well in the urban environment, because you've got to think about what is it that you can do to keep things from becoming too expensive. What can you do with the land that you have to create food, to create more energy, all of those kinds of things. And so that's going to be something that, you know, you're going to get to see firsthand as we do our homesteading updates, and as we do our live shows. You'll kind of see how we struggle through that. There are some things that we're just not going to be able to homestead on. I mean, certain compost piles are going to smell and make the neighbors mad at us. So we'll have to control some of that so that it doesn't smell so much. Well, however, we've got a lot of people on our side teaching us how to do homesteading in a bunch of different ways.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things
context.
that I told Kevin is that now, knowing what I know now, those front flower beds that had all of the pretty flowers in it and everything like that, if it's not edible or helps something that is edible, I'm taking it out. I had Krista give me a whole bunch of lemon balm. And I'm like, I'm planting that in my front flower beds. I'm planting sage and rosemary and thyme, things that'll come back every year that I use all the time. I use them all the time. And so that way I can have a little more edible landscaping and something that, you know, is pretty, because sage actually, when it blooms, is beautiful. It has these beautiful purple flowers on it.
Yep.
But it also can be used in feeding my family. So I'm pretty excited about doing that. I mean, that'll probably come in the spring next year, because we'll be moving in, you know, like mid-September. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So there are some very cool urban homesteading channels out there. And if they're not called homesteading, they're called self-reliance, and there is a way for us to be in an urban environment. I'm going to move closer to you because I feel like I'm all the way over here. There's a way to become self-reliant in the city, and we're gonna live in that for a few years while we get ready financially for what will be our future forever home. And so, anyway, there's some good things happening. An update on the Maryland house. Yes.
Well, I was just laughing because Cat Lover said that she loves dehydrating her herbs and stuff, and then Coco Noel was like, we could all use more time. So she's
that's pretty funny.
But anyway, update on the Maryland house. Sorry.
Update on the Maryland house. The update is we still own it. There is a deal on the house. There's a contract on the house right now. There's a pending sale, and we're waiting for the bank to make some decisions. Once they make their decisions, we can go to closing. And I'm not sure what that is. I am sure there's a couple of things. There's some red tape that goes along with this always, and so far we're waiting for the bank to make some decisions. So, have you seen the new solar panel roofing shingle? I have seen those. Those are very impressive. But anyway, the Maryland house is in the works, and we're hoping to see something happen with it maybe by the fall or by the end of the month. I don't know. It just depends.
It's a lot of hurry up and wait.
Yeah, it really is.
You have to get
this paperwork done,
in, and then we just wait.
I signed paperwork on it today, as a matter of fact, as part of the process. But it's not sold yet. It wasn't the signed paperwork. So the time will come when we let you guys know what we need for the big move. We're not sure what that's going to be. We will let you guys know. As you know, I'm a pastor, and I am going to be working in Cincinnati as a pastor. That's not changing, but I'm going to be commuting from Dayton. And so there are some things that go along with that. But as we move into this new house and this new space, there's probably going to be a 2-week period of time where we're just going to go in and evaluate what needs to be cleaned, what needs to be fixed, what needs to be made so that we can take it over as a family of 6 versus the person of one that was living there before. So there are some things that we're going to have to figure out. I think your prayers are always coveted, and there's a lot of things that we don't even know we need yet. So we'll let you know as we get into it. Let's see.
What's next on our
rabbit update? There's not much of a rabbit update.
They're just kind of doing their thing.
Yeah, we haven't bred them yet.
Yeah, because we don't want a bunch of baby bunnies in the middle of a movie.
Yeah, I don't think we're ready for that yet. So some of them are going to have to probably be given away or sold as well. But for now, that's kind of where we're at. Mm-hmm. We're going to keep 3 of them and let 3 of them go. Yeah. Heather is talking, but Kevin's lips are moving.
Really? Oh.
Anyway, but yeah, we'll let you know. Hi, Leslie B. It's good to see you. We haven't talked in a while. So
she was at the meetup.
Yeah, she was at there's a lot of folks that were at the meetup.
She was the one that brought gluten-free stuff for people who were gluten intolerant. So, yep, I remember Leslie. So, we did the rabbits. Oh, favorite things.
Favorite things.
So
here we go.
What's your favorite thing?
My favorite thing?
Yeah, you go first.
All right. She always goes first.
I always go first.
I'm going to bring back up something that I've brought up before, and that is the flint and the striker. These became very important to me recently. We had some brush to burn down and needed to make a fire, and I'll tell you what, this worked like a charm. We let it rip. My son and I built a fire, and I scraped this across the flint, and it took off. It was a phenomenal way to start a fire. So I highly suggest one of these. I'll get a little closer. It's got a little compass on there. There's a sharp edge on that you can't quite feel that you rub against this black flint right here, and it makes a spark. Here, I'll show you.
Good. Well, just here. Let me move the yarn and the paper.
And maybe do it into a glass of water because it really makes a spark. But
there it is.
See that? See that?
Yes. Okay, that's enough. Don't say stop!
Okay.
You're going to set us on
Set the table on fire.
So that is not when you should do it. Don't do that inside like I did. I'm a professional, folks. Don't do this at home. Anyway, no. But that's a really handy tool. We didn't have a single lighter in the entire house that worked, and this started a fire that raged on for the whole afternoon.
And our 10-year-old son, 11.
Started.
Sorry, 11.
Yes.
He was the one that started the fire.
Yeah, so this is one of my, again, I've said this before, this is one of my favorite things. I love it.
Okay, so mine is not for you men folk out there. Well, it might be.
Kevin Sparky.
It might be for you men folk. If you
Jayton, fire, fire, fire. Sorry.
All right, so I have a lot of hair. It's long, it's thick, and I have problems sometimes with when I wear my hair up in a ponytail or a bun or something like that. I get massive headaches. It just, the weight of it is pulling, and I'm like, ugh. So a lot of times I'll wear it half up like this, and that'll keep my hair out of my face, and it'll keep me cool most of the time. But even if I have it up like this, I could put a ponytail in it, and it doesn't weigh nearly as much. So
okay, hold on. I'm sorry, I totally interrupted you.
Yes, go ahead.
But there's some great advice happening here on the chat. Rural Homesteader said if you throw a spark into some steel wool, it will start a great fire.
Oh.
And then let's see here. Where did we get the fire starter? That's the easy part. You can find them everywhere. You can get them at Meijer, Walmart. You can get them at Dick's. You can get them at Cabela's. You can find them at Bass Pro Shop. Mm-hmm. These things are...
Any camping store probably can have them.
These are not hard to find. They have different variations of them as well. Excuse me. But they're easy to... You can find them and they're cheap. They're not expensive.
Yeah. So...
Sorry, babe. I'm done interrupting you.
So, I use bobby pins a lot. I hate the ones that you just get from the store. I hate them. They don't ever, my hair will fall out. I just have too much of it. And so I buy the ones from Sally Beauty Supply. They come in a container like this, and you get like a billion of them for like $7. These suckers will hold your hair in place.
Hold one out so they can see how long it is.
So I mean, they're the regular length, but they're stronger than the normal ones that you get, like the goodie ones. But they're tighter right in here. Like when you open them up, they're tighter, and they actually have a little bit of a curve to them. And these will hold my hair, all of my hair that I have in place. My hair has been up like this all day and it's not budged.
Yes.
So a lot of other times I'll have them where they'll slide out or they'll start pulling my hair, which that makes me angry too. And
how expensive are they, babe?
These right here I got, and I think, how many does it say that there are in here? I don't know if it says. It may go by weight. But like this big thing, I know that there's probably at least over 300 of them in here. But they were like $7 at Sally Beauty Supply. $11 and change maybe. But you can get smaller than this. You remember, like, this is kind of dating myself, the old like lip gloss containers where you would slide them and there was lip gloss in them. They have some that are a little bigger and that they hold some of these in there, and they're like $2 or $3. So, but yeah, the Sally Beauty Supply bobby pins will help keep your hair out of your face while you're trying to do things.
This is true. This is very true. All right, well, there's some of our favorite things. We always want to give you guys that.
What are they called? It says MetaGrip Premium Bobby Pins.
And we will put a link to that underneath in the description when we go back.
Yeah. So MetaGrip. So
we'll find those.
You see?
Yep.
There. That's what they are.
There you go. So. There you go. All right. So we don't have any upcoming projects right now, do we?
No, we fixed the chicken. Well, we tore down the chicken Conestoga wagon because it broke.
Yeah. And we are looking to build a new chicken. We're looking to build a new chicken coop, a real chicken coop, but for now we've made one of our other ones work better.
Yeah, we've made, and I put roosts in it, and so they're now roosting and not wanting to sit in the nesting boxes at night, because when they do that, they poop in the nesting boxes and it's gross.
That's right.
So, so we've got that working right now for what we need, and we don't really have any projects going on right now, because we're kind of in the mindset of, okay, we're going to be moving.
Yeah.
And so we have to kind of get our brain kind of wrapped around that, or like, what are we going to take? What are we going to leave? What do we do? We get to set on fire, things like that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's the tough part on the live chats, Baker Mom. We are not able to take any of our chickens with us, so we are going to keep. Depending on what Heather's mom wants, we'll probably keep like 3 to 5, maybe none, because that's we don't want it to be an overburden for her. But we will be downsizing. We can't take any of them with us.
Yeah.
And so it's a little bit sad in the regard that we're chicken people. That's what we do.
And me and Michelle, we're accumulating all of the stuff that we need. So we will be getting in contact with you when we have accumulated that stuff that we need to build the chicken coop.
Yeah, Heather's right, though. We really are going to the mindset of, well, we're going to move to the city, so we've got to kind of change some of what we've been doing. We don't want to build up a homestead here when we're going to be building up an urban homestead and really figuring out what that looks like, because I know there's going to be issues with zoning. I know there's going to be issues with our neighbors, and we want to be a good steward of everything God gave us. We are allowed to have animals, like rabbits, and we'll keep our cat, we'll keep our dog, and we might get creative with a guinea pig that we adopt from Big Family Homestead.
We actually, Hoffman, we have some stuff here. We have a bit of stuff, but most of our stuff is in storage right now. So for us, the important thing is when we move is get that stuff out of storage so we're not paying that fee every month. And then moving the day-to-day stuff that we, I got something bothering me.
Heather's picking her nose.
No,
sorry.
I'm itching my lip. There's something tickling me there. But the everyday stuff that we use, that can come later, so we just want to get that stuff out of storage first. Yeah. And the good thing is that the storage area is not far from where the house is.
That was surprisingly good planning.
Yeah, we didn't think it was at first, but
yeah. So let's move on to resources, because we're running out of time. Matter of fact, we're close to being overtime. We want to honor you guys and the time that you're giving us, but we never seem to. We always seem to go overtime. But we're going to keep going a little while longer because we want to show you some resources. Heather, you have some resources, and here, I'll take that. Let me have that. Go ahead with your stuff.
I have one resource that is not a book resource. I was given Two Beehives by Brad and Krista. I know zero about bees, and I'm scared to death, not of bees themselves, but I'm afraid I'm going to kill the bees, which I don't want to do that. So I have been watching Bee Lady Apiary and watching her and gleaning information from her, and so I was, I'm really excited about that. But then I got this book from the library, and I know everyone's gonna laugh at me, but it's Beekeeping for Dummies, because I'm like, no one's dumber about beekeeping than I am right now. So I haven't read it yet. I just got it today, but I'm gonna crack into it and look into it and see what kind of information I can get from there, because that was one thing that the bee apiary lady said, was make sure you get books. She goes, libraries have them, you can buy them, you can get them secondhand, whatever. She goes, but get books out, read up about them, and stuff like that. So that's my resource.
Yeah, and the bee thing is more complicated than I ever thought, and so being studied on it will help us as you build a hive later on. And the hives will probably stay here because they don't take a whole lot of maintenance on a regular basis.
You gotta check in on them, from what I understand, like every couple of weeks or so. But
weeks, but not every day, right?
Yeah, not every day, no.
Right, there you go.
So you gotta keep an eye on them and stuff like that. So
Maya has that book too.
Oh, does she?
Yep.
Good. Well, I don't feel so bad then.
And Mass Faith 3 says they're happy to be your bee lady.
Ooh, well, I will have to pick your brains about that, because, like I said, I don't know anything about it, and I'm scared I'm going to kill them, and I don't want to kill the bees, because we need the bees.
Yep. All right, so here we go. I have a resource, and it comes from the dads out there. It is called Dad Hacks. This is a great little resource that shows you cute and fun and silly little ways that you can hack certain things, like creating a non-slip rug, and using bread as an eraser when your kid draws on the wall. Hanging things from your from a used, old, broken off rake. There's just a lot of things there in this book that are really funny to look at. It's just very creative.
It's things that men would think of that maybe women wouldn't.
Let me suggest the beer, ketchup, salt and pepper, and the plastic fork knife holder. So it's using an old 6-pack container for holding all these things when you go on a picnic. I just think that's really funny.
Yeah, which us girls would think, oh, we need something pretty and nice and, stuff like that. And, I mean, that's actually genius, because if you're going on a picnic and you're getting, like, I mean, we wouldn't do beer, but we would probably have, like, bottles of, like, soda or something.
Yep.
And, I mean, you would just throw that in the fire and burn it anyway, and then be bringing along something that is very bulky and, like, completely not useful once all your silverware is gone.
Do you hate it when you... Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but...
Do you hate...
I'm sorry.
We keep interrupting each other. I'm sorry. So if you ever get pizza and you don't like it dried out, here's directions on how you can put a glass of water in the microwave with the piece of pizza to make it less shoe leathery. And so there's all kinds of hacks like that. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put some of these to the test, and we're going to show you on video whether they work or not. So stay tuned. We might be keeping this for a while. We found this at the library, and that's another great resource, guys. If you have not gone to your local library and checked out some of their resources, I totally suggest that you do it. Now, technically, I'm not allowed in libraries anymore, but... there was a little incident back when I was younger. It keeps me from being in the library.
He keeps telling my kids that.
If you haven't been in the library yet, check them out. They have some great self-sufficiency stuff there, and I would totally suggest having a looky-loo.
We have a question.
Yes.
Molly wants to know if we are after we move, are we going to be keeping the same P.O. box?
No, we will probably change our P.O. box. For convenience sake and for some other reasons. So when we do change it, we will let you know. Right.
I
looked into that. I meant to talk to you about it, but it's been crazy.
I didn't know how to answer that.
It's just a little bit confusing right now because of But yes, we will release that information when we can. But for now, use our P.O. box number.
We have a new person here.
What?
Yeah.
Who?
Prima
Holka?
Yeah.
Hey guys, how are you?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Glad you're here. Welcome to the
hold on, I wanted to ask a question because I see the person here tonight. Homesteading the Pioneer Way. I wanted to make sure I could have swore I saw you do a sourdough starter video. Was that you? I wanted to make sure because I can't like flip through the videos right now to see. But I'm pretty sure like just recently you did a sourdough bread starter video, and I wanted to make sure I said that right. So I'm not sending people to your channel and they're like, she lied. That's not there. So. That's
right. That's a great resource. I completely encourage you guys she has done several.
Oh, okay, good,
so,
good. Okay,
all right.
I would make sure I had the right person because I watch a lot of cooking stuff and I can't remember sometimes who was what. So
there's another great resource, self-sufficiency. The practical projects for self-sufficiency has some great stuff in it. I don't have a lot of time to give you about this one, but the cool thing is it shows you how to make a couple of things, including your own cider press, which would be really cool.
Herb drying rack. They have an herb drying rack.
They have an herb drying rack.
Yeah.
Now we've been trying to highlight our kids. You know that Katie's an avid sewer. You know Max is a incredible carpenter and artist, all growing in their trades. Jack's turn. He is an amazing kid that we want to highlight. We're going to just take a couple of times and as parents brag on our kids a little bit. And I'm assuming this is from him.
This is Jack.
Because it was handed to me randomly.
Yeah.
I want to show him.
You want to show him?
I want to show him. He made a rubber band gun. If you look at it, it shoots rubber bands. It has a little trigger right here.
You got to move that.
You got to put that. Oh no.
Maybe not. I did it wrong.
You messed it up. You messed it all up. So anyway, that's no problem. We can fix it.
What did I do? I did it wrong. Jack, come fix it.
Yeah, come in here and show us what we did wrong.
We did it wrong.
We did something wrong.
So we have to have Jack fix it for us.
Yeah, he messed it all up.
There's a little slot back here. And you just gotta take it and push it in there.
Okay.
And usually I would put a paper throwing star in there and it would just shoot out.
Oh, so it shoots something.
It shoots out.
Yeah, your paper throwing star was commandeered by your 3-year-old cousin.
Yes,
Seriously?
it was.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a marvel of engineering. Jack has many gifts, and we see some engineering coming out in him, and also he's pretty good on a computer with building websites. At the beginner level, he's doing a great job with that. Now, all of our kids have an artist side to them, and Jack's no exception. Katie's a good drawer, Max is a good drawer, and Jack is definitely a force to be reckoned with as well. So we're going to share some of our favorite pictures with you. So there's Spider-Man, and we're just going to take a minute and celebrate our kids. You're going to have to, just indulge us as parents.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid. Yeah, well, we already had that. That's a whole nother story. See, he's just a great artist, and these are some great pictures that he's done. We just.
That one's my favorite. That one's Wonder Woman, and it hasn't been colored in yet.
Listen, we're about family, so we're going to celebrate our kids and take some time to show you some of the things that they've been doing. If you have a kid in your life, you need to celebrate them, lift them up, encourage them, say something positive to them, something more than just clean your room and do the dishes and do the laundry. Let them know that they're gifted, they're talented, and they're loved. That is one thing that we just have to do a better job as parents so that our kids can grow up to be as talented as you are. So anyway, Jack, thanks. Appreciate it. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, guys, we are almost done with this night. I wanted to just say a few things. One is, if you get a chance, check out Lone Star. He is traveling. He just released a travel vlog that you got to check out. We are big fans of all of you guys. We're so thankful. Last time I looked, we're at around 100 or 870 subscribers, and I tell you what, you guys are amazing people, and we're so thankful for you taking time out of your schedule on a Wednesday night to hang out with us. So that's the first thing. The next thing I want to just encourage you guys is, if you haven't tried Thrive Life food, please check it out. It's one way for us to support our family, but it's great food. It's awesome food, and we use it regularly. So with that said,
that reminds me, I'm actually going to be doing a video on beef enchiladas. with the Thrive food.
Yeah.
I think it's either this week or early next week.
The Goin Batty kitchen will have some of that Thrive Life stuff cooking. It is a way that we support our family. We don't want to beat you over the head with it, but we do want to encourage you guys to check it out. It is not Franken food, guys. This is real food, and we've got plenty of videos out talking about that. So we might have a Friday night freestyle this Friday, but stay tuned. We're not sure with all of the family that we've got coming in.
Right, family funness. I'm not sure.
It might it might be a family freestyle fun night. So anyway, guys, we are a Christian family. We're believers. And we're going to close the night out with some prayer. And if that's not your thing,
Hi, Angie's Pantry. We're finishing up right now. So sorry.
It's great to see you. If it's not your thing, we'll say goodnight now. But if it is your thing, please stick around and we'll say a prayer, and then we'll start saying goodnight to everybody. Okay? Yep. So let's pray. God, thank you so much for the privilege it is to come and be with this incredible community of people sharing our lives. Father God, we pray for your hand of blessing to be on every person that's watching this. God, we ask for you to intervene in the prayer concerns and the praises that they have going on in their life. Father, amidst all of the junk of our life, amidst the busyness, amidst all the family stuff, the craziness, you are God, and give us the opportunity to acknowledge those little God moments when we see them, Father. Thank you for the privilege it is to serve you and to call you our God. We love you, and we thank you for this day. In your Son's precious name, amen. Amen. Guys, don't forget, check out, I do a little devotional thing at 10:30 on Saturday mornings. We do a little get-together. We're going through the book of Matthew, and we're going to be talking about oaths, not oats, oaths, this coming Saturday, and how your yes should be yes and your no should be no. So come and spend a little time with us. Heather's always kind of in the background taking prayer concerns, and I'm doing the talking, so please join us for that. We'd love to see you. Guys, we are blessed by the community we have here.
We really are.
We're so excited that we saw all of you tonight. Yeah. Thank you for being a part of our evening. And, God's got something incredible for you. And I'm so excited to be a part of watching what happens. Guys, thanks for joining us.
More updates as we go.
Boom! Yeah, baby.